Okay, so we saw how there was some blank white space when the animation ends and restarts. We need to do a couple of things to fix it. And the first thing is going to be to copy some frames. So I'm going to hold down my Command key and I'm going to click and drag from frame 1 to 20 of my first layer. And I needed to unlock it first, by the way. Otherwise, you are not able to do that. Then I'm going to hold the Control key down and I'm going to click and I'm going to choose Copy Frames. And now I'm going to scroll to the right and I want to click here in 240 of that top layer and I'm going to need to Control, click, and paste frames. And basically that now is going to allow that fade to go back to frame 1. Now I need to put 1 and hit F5 just to insert 1 frame here. That way they even out, okay? And now if I do a command return, let's watch. You see it fade in at the beginning, and then you see each one transition to the next. And as we get to the final one, you're going to see that it transitions to the U of H, but then it still starts again. Okay, that's not what we want. So what we need to do now is we're going to use our Actions panel, which is not visible at the moment. So I'm going to open my Actions panel. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dock it down here. Okay. What I want to do is I want to create a new layer, and I'll go ahead and name this new layer Actions. Now you can put an action on a movie clip. You can put it on a put it on a symbol. You can put it on a frame or a keyframe. I want you to click on this little magic wand because then yours is going to look like mine. And I want you to notice that this actions, it put in a blank keyframe at the beginning, and then there's no more keyframes all the way through. Now, what we need to do is, since we now have this fading back out, we need for right here, we need for it to go back in time when it repeats to where the U of H sign is fully visible, which is here. Okay, so we're going to put in, whoops, I didn't mean to actually move my stage. I meant to move my timeline. We're going to put in a keyframe. I'm going to hit F6. It's still an empty keyframe, okay, but it's still a keyframe. And I'm going to click on that. And now I'm looking here in my Actions panel. And notice how it says Actions Frame. That's how I know I'm putting an action on a frame and not on a button or anything else. So you'll need to look over here. These are the different categories we have for ActionScript 2.0. If you don't see these here, chances are you selected an ActionScript 3.0. Now, don't fret. Look up here at the File menu, Publish Settings, and see up here where it says Script, ActionScript 2.0. There they are right there. So ActionScript 3.0, this is what it looks like. This is more like real coding in computer science. ActionScript 2.0 as well as 1.0 has a little more help from us. And then you can just click OK. So we will find, like I said, we want, at this point, we want our slideshow to go back to frame 21 to replay right here. So I'm going to go under Global Functions, Timeline Control, and I'm just clicking once. Double clicking doesn't do anything. And I'm going to do a Go To. Okay. Now, by default, it does Go To and Play, which is actually what we want. But I do want you to see that there is also a Go To and Stop. Up here is Scene, okay, and we're going to have it in the current scene, and we want it to go to frame number 21. And you can see the code that was put in. Okay? Now, you can, if you don't have this magic wand on, you can actually type in your code if you know exactly what to type. But you always have to make sure that you spell everything properly. And there are some parts that require a capital letter, and it's important that you have that correct as well. And notice how there's no spaces in this code. So when possible, I find that using the help stuff over here on the left helps us out. All right, now if I look up here at the timeline, I can see actually that there is an A in that keyframe. That tells me that there's an action there, and that helps me find it at a later time. Now if I hit Command Return, I can play my animation, and I can watch it fade from one into the next. Okay, and the last one, and it fades right back to the beginning with no repetition. Okay, so that makes a good slideshow that somebody can put on their website, that they can put make photos repeat. All right, so we're going to go ahead. If you haven't already saved this yet, I probably should have directed you to save it earlier, but we're going to save this as period last name underscore slideshow. Whoops, slideshow. There we go. And that's our Flash file. Click Save, and remember to get your Swift file for your Google site. You Command Return after saving it, and then it creates the Swift file for you to upload. If the Swift file that I had when it wasn't yet saved doesn't do anything.